All right, boys. One girl. We are here with the protagonist tier list. Hopefully not a 4-hour tier list. Yeah, we're going to try to avoid the 4-hour mark, but we got all these tier lists. We got all these characters right here in the tier list. Named, where they're from, decent pictures so you can actually tell who they are. Unlike the last tier list where I couldn't even tell what the fuck half the shows were because the images are weird. There's so many places on that tier list that I wish I could go back because I missed a lot of shows that I do know, and I just couldn't tell from the image, and it just took too long to get through. For those of you who sat through that 4 hours, you're crazy, honestly. I don't even know why you did that. But so this one's for you. And we have like some more content coming with some more like anime inspired content coming. So yeah, we're going to get through this. So we got favorites. Amazing, good, very good. Let's do like, these are goats. These are the goated characters. These are like top tier amazing characters. Let's just get rid of this. This kind of doesn't make any sense, right? So frauds, that works, that's fine. I don't like them, but like good, amazing, go. Okay, so these are the categories we're gonna rate, and we're gonna go somewhat fast. I don't want this to be like 4 hours, maybe like an hour tops. Okay. How am I judging them? I'm judging them based on kind of personal preference. I'm not power scaling. We're not hoodweebs here. We have self-respect. We don't do that here. But we are going to kind of judge them a little bit in their own verse. Like, you know, there's certain characters, I won't name who yet, that like are pretty weak MCs in their own kind of like their own show, their own universe. Like to the point where like I think the show I think the show could exist without them, right? Or the manga. We'll include manga for the ones I know, but like we'll do that. And it's some personal taste, right? Like characters I think are interesting or compelling, or become interesting or compelling. So that's enough yapping. So we'll do Ainz first. Overlord. I think overall he's a good character. I don't think he's amazing. He's just overpowered isekai character in game world, not very interesting. As the series goes on, I feel like he becomes less interesting. Now, in the very beginning, I thought he was interesting because it's like you're learning the world with him and like going through the process of him discovering things. But like as the show went on, it just became more and more like he didn't even feel like he had a personality. And I guess that's kind of the point, is like he's slowly morphing into his actual video game character. Yeah, overall, just not that interesting, honestly. Like the other characters of Overlord are more interesting. Case in point, most of the other seasons of the show are focused on other characters and not necessarily Ainz, because after season 1, they're like, well, there's not much more to go off of with him, so that's it. Let's focus. Let's start doing other characters and other situations. So I think he's a good character. I don't think he's that great. He's not really compelling. He's not really that interesting. He's just kind of a dickhead, right? We got Afro. I don't know. Like I watched Afro Samurai like one time. What do I say about Afro Samurai? Like, dude, I don't know. Just a fraud, I guess. Like, does he even speak in the show? I don't think he even speaks. He's not really even like a character. He's just like yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Fraud, sure. I don't remember. Like, I watched Afro Samurai like fucking 20 years ago. Akame got killed, also a fraud. She's not really the main character. She's the least interesting character in the show. I don't know why the show is named after her, because she's literally just she's a pointless character. She's barely in the show half the time. All the other characters steal the show from her. It's not even close. She is by far, in my opinion, not the main character. So I don't know. It's just a fraud character. Shouldn't even be in here. Akane, also a fraud. She's not the main character of the show. I think that's pretty obvious to anybody who watches the show. I don't think Psycho Pass is very good, but I definitely don't watch it for Akane. In fact, Akane usually blends into the background. In fact, every time Akane is on screen, I usually wish she wasn't. So It's just like, yeah, I don't know. This is gonna sound like such a misogynistic tier list. Nah, there's good ones in here. I mean, Frierin's gonna go pretty high up. So, Akira Fudo, I think he's a good character. Not anything crazy, not anything amazing. Kind of a crybaby, a little bit of an idiot. Not the most like compelling character of all time, but somewhat interesting. A little bit of a cool factor. Is kind of like one of the main carries of Devilman universe, obviously, because he's Devilman. Obviously, he has his rival and his friend, and is kind of like his foil in a sense. Yeah, I think that's fair. He's good. All right, Akira Tendo. I think Akira's an amazing character. I actually think he's very well written. He's very interesting. I did not expect to actually like him as much as I did. There's very little not to like about him. He's like, he's just like, he's brave. He's adventurous. He's pretty smart. He's got good morals. He's an interesting character. He's got a lot going on, like way more than you expect. And Psalm 100 ends up being like a pretty surprisingly good show that has a lot of depth to it. So I would give him an amazing category. All right, Aladdin. Aladdin's just like a good character. He's like a side character. He even though he should be the main character, he feels more like an observer in his own kind of show. A lot of other characters outshine him. Sinbad especially outshines him. Every time Sinbad shows up on screen, like, it's some of the hypest moments of the show. In fact, Sinbad steals the show so badly, he even got his own spin-off from the show. It's like, what do you say here? Alibaba is an amazing character. Almost goated. But obviously Alibaba, to me, is really the real MC of Maggie, outside of Sinbad, who then obviously becomes the main antagonist. But, spoilers. We're never getting it animated, so if you don't know at this point, that's your own problem. But yeah, I think Alibaba really is like the true MC of Maggie. I don't think Maggie can really exist without him. I think he's got a lot of good character moments, a lot of good character growth. I like watching him power up. I like when he comes back. Yeah, I just like Alibaba a lot. It's a good character. And Alphonse Elric. If this was Full Metal Alchemist, I would say he would be kind of goated. But since we're just going to also include Brotherhood in the movies, I'm going to put him down to probably like an amazing category. I think he's a very solid character. This rating is heavily boosted up by the original Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, where Alphonse kind of takes over the main role for a while. But yeah, he's a good character. I don't know really what to say. Maybe it's better if I just rate them and just let people get mad. And if I want to make slight comments, I can. But it's like, yeah, it's a good character. I like him. It's like, okay. Alucard, he's a fraud character. He's not really like a protagonist. So it's kind of weird to even have him on a protagonist tier list. He's more of like a force of nature. The real protagonist of Hellsing is Ceres / Integra to some extent. Alucard's more of like a tool, like force of nature. He doesn't really have a character arc. Like his arc has already been done. He's hundreds and thousands of years old. Well, hundreds of years old. It's probably like 1,000 years old. Who knows? But he's very old. He's already went through his life's already like he's already gone through life. And it's really about Ceres. Like, Hellsing is about Ceres and Integra. It's not about Alucard. He's a fraud, not because he's a bad character, but because he's really not even a character. He's just kind of like a force of nature. Like, he doesn't really say much. He just kind of shows up, fucks people up, and leaves. Like, that's pretty much all he does. Like, yeah, I don't know. Angelo Lagusa, amazing character, very top tier, solid show, 91 days, super underrated, super underappreciated. Arnold Voldegold, I honestly think he's a good character. I think Misfit of the Demon King or whatever the fuck. I think the show's kind of bad. I think some parts of the first season were good, and then it kind of went all over the place. But I think Anos is actually a pretty good character, just because like he's funny and he's interesting, and like there is some character growth as it goes on. When you learn more about him, he's got like a little bit of a mysterious aspect to him, and he's a little deeper than you think. But overall good. I mean, the baby moment still kills me when he's born and he's just speaking. I am Anders the Voldemort. Like that kind of bounces it up for me. Anya, I don't know. I'm not a Spy Family fan. I don't really care about Spy Family. We'll just put her in good so I don't get fucking death threats. There's not much to say. Aqua Hoshino, I actually think Aqua is an amazing character. Pretty top tier. Yeah, he's just good. There's a lot of mystery there, a lot of good character development. I mean, it's kind of gets sidetracked a lot in Oshinoko, but like, yeah, he's still a good character. Araragi, this is the GOAT. Aragi's the GOAT. If you don't think Aragi's the GOAT, you're insane. If you never watch Monogatari, you're also insane. It's like one of God's gifts to anime. So, yeah, Aragi's just the GOATed character. He's always solving all the problems. He's just like goes through hell and back. Yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say. Aragi's the GOAT. Ash Ketchum, he's a fraud. It took this guy like 30 years to win a Pokemon League, and honestly, he shouldn't have won it. Asta, goated character. Asta's one of the best characters in the new generation of shonen. It's just like this. I don't know what you would hate about him. Like, I think the screaming thing was like it was an error on the anime productions side. It's not. He doesn't really do that in the manga. And then they tone it down a lot later on because he's just like he's not supposed to be screaming all the time. So, but Asta's got a great character writing. I like Asta a lot because like it's not, at least as far as I'm aware, I'm not up to date on the manga, but I know a little bit what happens in the next season. As far as I'm aware, like Asta doesn't have like any bullshit like family power-ups like Naruto does, right? Like he's not like secretly the Hokage's son. I think his mother's pretty normal. Like the whole point here is that like Asta's mother showed kindness, and that's what kind of got him his power, right, through the devil, right? She helped the devil ends up helping him, but he still has to earn that, right? And it's not like the devil he has inside him is like some overpowered like top tier devil. He's actually like one of the lowest level devils. He's like underrated, and his power is not even that good, even though it seems like it's good. Anti-magic is actually not. Turns out anti-magic isn't great somehow. I don't know why, but it's not. I mean, Asa is a good character. I think what sells me the most on Asa as a character is the moment when he loses his arms and he's like out on the rock by himself, and everybody's out there like worried about him, thinking he's gonna like break down, and he does. For the first time ever, you never see him break down, but he does finally to himself for about 5 seconds, and then he tells himself to get over it, and then he keeps going. And I think that's great. It just shows like he's not like a cardboard cutout. He does internally feel like inadequate. He does the shit that people says and do to him really does get to him, but he still pushes on. And I think it's just like a great character model to live off of. Plus he's super fit. Just like a really good character. He's a better Naruto in my opinion. He has a very Naruto-esque kind of personality, but he's just better in every way. Whereas, funny enough, I think his counterpart is a worse Sasuke. So it's like the Black Clover duo is definitely a very much a Naruto Sasuke clone. It's very inspired by both of them, 100%. You can't deny it. The difference is Asta's a good Naruto, and then what's his face? His brother, his adopted brother or whatever, he's like a bad Sasuke. So it's like, it's kind of funny. Atsushi, he's not really even like, Bungo doesn't really have main characters or protagonist. Like, honestly, I don't really like Atsushi, I ain't gonna lie. He's not why I watch Bungo. I actually really dislike him most of the time. Baki, I'm gonna say Baki's a good character. He's okay. I mean, he's not the most compelling character in the world. It's not why you watch Baki, but it is interesting to watch him from childhood to adulthood and all the things he goes through. But like, I don't know, like later half of Baki, it feels like Baki doesn't really have like a bunch of character growth going on. He just kind of like pulls random ass pull power ups out of nowhere. I don't know. It's whatever. Like I like Baki. I just don't think Baki's like that compelling of a character. Bomb, do I include like Future Bomb and everything? I think Bomb's good. I don't particularly find Bomb to be my favorite character in Tower of God. There's other characters for that, but he's still a good character. Boji, goated. Boji's the goat. If you don't think so, I don't know. We're not gonna. There's nothing else to say. It's Boji. Boji's the goat. Goated character. Boruto. This will be controversial, but I actually think Boruto is actually an amazing character. Now, hear me out. I had to take a step back here, right? Boruto, the show, the manga, fucking horrendous, terrible, dog shit. Literally should be burned in the fire. It's a waste of ink to even put pen to paper to make this manga. Waste of everybody's time and money. Stop it. Just delete it. Just destroy it. Absolutely horrible, horrible manga. Terrible pacing. Terrible characters. However, Boruto, especially in Blue Vortex, is actually a super compelling character. Now, hear me out. You might be like, well, he's so annoying, blah, 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 blah. He is the rich, spoiled kid. He is the Hokage's son. He's the rich, spoiled kid. Not only is he the Hokage's son, his father, the Hokage in this case, is literally the guy who saved the entire world. so it's like he's the world hero's son. He's a spoiled brat. He's supposed to be like that. But at the same time, a lot of the time, he can back up his shit talk. You know, he's a shit talking, spoiled, rich kid. And that's how he acts. And in that context, it makes sense. It's well written. That's how a spoiled, rich kid should act. He gets humbled later, and he finds his like kind of growth and his character growth through like a third party, right? Because he's got daddy issues. Because honestly, Naruto's a terrible father. Go figure. The guy who didn't have a father turns out to be a terrible father in his own right. So it's like, it's kind of weird how that happens. Kind of why I wish Boruto didn't exist, because I just don't think that's how it would happen. But Boruto himself, I actually think is a very good, interesting, compelling character. There's actually a lot going on. He has to deal with a lot of shit that's kind of just crazy, because the Boruto manga is all over the place with like fucking aliens and androids and all kinds of weird shit, and time travel makes no fucking sense at all. And then especially Blue Vortex Boruto, I actually think is a pretty badass character. I actually like him a lot. I think like the fact that like everything was inverted on him and he's basically the antagonist of the story is super interesting and compelling, and I think he handles it very well. I think like some of the manga scenes that I've seen of Blue Vortex, like Boruto, are pretty badass. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I mean, they're pretty good. So I actually think he's a way better character and like way more well written than people give it credit for. But that doesn't mean the show is good. Like overall, it's a good character being written into a terrible show. And that's honestly why I think he stands out as like an actual top tier character, because overall he's working with garbage and somehow he still managed to be somewhat interesting. Yeah. Disagree if you want. I think that works. If you consider Blue Vortex and everything together, I actually think Boruto's a really interesting character. Kaimon. I don't really like him. Like, I like Dorohedoro for the world building and like the mystery of the show. I don't like Dorohedoro for like, oh my god, Kaimon's such a cool, compelling character. I'm pretty sure Kaimon is literally like the biggest piece of shit in the show, and that's kind of the point. So yeah, Celti, I don't really like Durarara. I never really did, even when it was like super popular and everybody liked it and it was like some kind of cool kid club to be in it if you liked Durarara and you could like fucking reference everything in it. I always thought her relationship with the fucking doctor was creepy and weird, and I think she's just kind of a boring, uninteresting character. Chihiro's a good character. She's alright. Just like a little bratty kid. Conan, he's a fraud, bro. This guy can't solve the mystery, man. Come on, bro. How many more episodes do you need, dude? We're on like OP 53, like episode like 3000, bro. Actually, I think in the new season, isn't he like gender bent now? Am I crazy? Because I haven't been watching in a long time, but like I saw some clips of like the new stuff, and like either it's a new character that just kind of looks like him, but like in female form, or like he's been gender bent now too. Like, bro, can you just solve the mystery already? Like, fuck. David, I think David's an amazing character. Very good character. Pretty deep. He's kind of an idiot, but that's fine. We still love him. Decim, I don't know. I don't really like him. It's hard to say he's like the main character of Death Parade because he's kind of not, but okay. Deku's just a good character. When you lose every popularity poll to Bakugo almost every single time, even at the highest point of your character career in the show, I think that's just bad. Not to mention, not only does he come in second almost every time, he also doesn't even come in. Well, let me erase that. He doesn't even come in second most of the time. Most of the time, he's like fourth or fifth. So he loses to a lot of characters in his own show. I just don't think Deku's a good character. I just don't think he's a good character. I don't know. He's not good. He's just kind of bleh. Like, yeah, he's just, I don't know. He's not a good character. I don't know what to say. You can disagree if you want. I don't think so. But like, here's the point. Here's the other point I want to make. When like everybody in the show, like verbatim, like literally say that they don't feel the same confidence in him watching him fight as they would All Might. Like, bro, you're kind of a fraud. Like, let's be honest. Like, I don't know, bro. And Bakugo's the real MC. He's the real top hero. Let's just be honest, guys. Deku doesn't even actually fight All For One. Like, literally, he never actually fights him. Even at the end, that's not really All For One. That's like some like fucking weird version of Shigaraki. Let's be real. And then he doesn't even really fight him. Everybody else fights for him, and then he still needs Bakugo to actually finish the job. So Denji, you know, I watched the movie like 3 times now, and I watched it with a friend, and we had this discussion where I was like, I think what makes Denji interesting in Chainsaw Man is that like there's so much crazy world-ending diabolical shit going on, but he still manages to like just act like a normal kid. And it's usually, I feel like shonen mangaka really just like don't know how to write people who are 16. Even though like their characters are 16, they don't act like it. They don't feel like it. They feel like weird half-assed adults. Whereas Denji's like, his main concern is like getting fed and touching boobs. Like that's literally what he cares about, and that's literally what most 16-year-old boys care about. He could care less about like the political background going on. He could care less about, honestly, he probably could care less about the gun devil and all that shit too. He just wants to fucking eat good food, like experience life, because he just never got to, and every day is just a kind of a blessing for him. And it's just like he can always look at the bright side. So I actually almost want to put him up here, but like he's such a fucking stupid simp. But at the same time, he's just a naive 16-year-old. So I think like actually like low key, and I had this discussion, and it just changed, by the way, because I used to rate him a lot lower, but I think after discussing it with my friend, I'm just like, you know what? It's kind of weird because like he's an idiot, but like he literally just acts like a dumb 16-year-old. It's actually really well written. You know, because all these other characters, they get like swept up in like the greater arc, right? Like, and they become like hardened, and like they start acting like adults, and it's like, but they're still kids, and then it feels weird when they have like these like kid moments, and like it like throws off the show, the beat of the show. Whereas like it doesn't do that with Denji. Like he is who he is. He is the same character all the time, every time, and he just does what he wants. Edward Elric, goated character. Who's gonna argue this? I don't know. Feel free. Who wants to fight about that? Emma's kind of a fraud. I actually think her Ray and brain fart. You know who I'm talking about. But I think the other two are way more impactful than she is. She's more of like the vessel that the story's told through, more than she is actually like an influencer in the story. Eren Yeager, I mean, goated character, guys. Like, come on, bro. Start to finish, just pure goat. Hard carries the whole second half of the show. Just just an amazing character. Just dealing with a lot of shit, like just craziness. Yeah, I don't know. Who's gonna argue that? I think Frieren is a good character so far. I think like there's still room to grow here. It's still early days for Frieren. She's not really much of a character so far. I mean, the personality is starting to come out. We're starting to get glimpses of it. But she definitely has the potential to go up to here, if not up here. It's just, this is early days, guys. Like, you can't just jump the gun. I know you guys are all bandwagoners, and it's like, oh my god, Frieren's the best anime of all time. You watched one season, guys. Like, I'm just gonna let you know, a lot of shows tend to fall off pretty hard after the first season. So, like, give it some time, let it cook. Let's see where it goes. In my opinion, I think the ending is just as important as the beginning. So, this is like a tentative rating, right? Fushi to your eternity. I don't really like him. Gabimaru. I think Gabimaru is actually pretty goated. Married. Already like the strongest person in his entire verse. Just like no fucks given. Does not hesitate to fuck people up. Will do what he needs to do. His entire life's purpose is to get back to his wife. And he, yeah. I mean, Gabimaru is just fucking goated, bro. I don't know. Ganta, he's kind of a fraud, isn't he? Let's be honest. Gintoki, kind of goated, right? Maybe amazing. I won't put him in amazing. I don't think he's like that. There's some like character writing flaws with Gintoki's story. Like he just kind of does some things towards the end of the show I thought were kind of retarded and made no sense. But so that's gonna knock him down to amazing for me. Yeah, we're not gonna rate any JoJo characters except for Joseph because that's the only one I like. You can fight me over it. I think JoJo fans are the most insufferable people on the planet. Nobody likes you. You're all losers, and you need to go touch grass. Gojo, I mean, Gojo's good. I don't know. He's not why we watch Dress Up Darling. Let's be honest, guys. But I think he's overall like a good character. He has character growth. He's interesting. You know, he needs to man up a little bit, but well, I mean, he kind of does at one point, yeah. Goku's a fraud. Biggest fraud of all time. If we're talking about Dragon Ball Goku when he's a child, he would be GOAT tier. But as an adult in Dragon Ball Z and onwards, I think Goku's a fraud. He literally kills millions of people. He is willing to end the universe just so he can get a good fight in. He is a terrible father, is barely present in his children's lives, beats up his children half the time. Just like the more DBZ goes on and the more like Super goes on, the worst of a human being Goku is. He's terrible. I actually, like, when they did the whole thing with Goku Black, I actually laughed because I thought Goku Black was like a better person than regular Goku, because Goku was willing to end the universe, like just because he's just like, fuck you. I think the only reason why Goku is so popular as a character is because hoodweebs recognize their own father, their own absentee father inside of Goku, and that's why they love him so much. Gone Freaks, he's a fraud, and the reason why is because Hunter x Hunter is literally running without him. Gon is gone, and honestly, the manga is way better for it. I actually think he's always been the weakest part of Hunter x Hunter. I've never liked him as a character. I always thought Killua was 10 times more compelling and interesting, and I think most people would agree with that. And when you actually really break it down and think about it, do you actually care that Gon is gone? I don't. I think the manga is way better without him. I think his father is a way more interesting, compelling character. I'd rather focus on him and the Dark Continent and all the other stuff going on than I care at all about Gon. He's such an irrelevant character in his own show, which the show's not about him anyway, but he's such an irrelevant character that the mangaka literally wrote him out of the manga and nobody seems to care. So, yeah. Ochid Rock, good character. Interesting character. I gotta see like more Bochi, see how it goes, but so far she's really good. I really like her a lot. Yeah. Guts Berserk, honestly, goated character. I don't know how anybody disagrees. One of the best written characters of all time. Just so much shit going on. It's insane. The ultimate survivor. The ultimate like tragedy survivor. Like pure willpower. Fighting on, keeping going. Still remaining a decently good person, by the way. Yeah, very compelling. Hajime. I actually think Hajime is a good character. I know this is weird because people really shit on Erifuruta, and I kind of do too, because like I really don't like the whole like lolly vampire love thing going on. It's really just fucking weird. I don't really like it. But like he is a good character. Like he has a lot of good moments, a lot of good one-liners. He's very smart, survivor. Kind of compelling sometimes. Doesn't tolerate bullshit. Kind of does his own thing. The show can't really exist without him. He is kind of like the main force in the show. Yeah, I think he's a good character. Haruka's goated, honestly. Fully Cooley used to be like a rite of passage growing up, and Haruka and getting over crushing on Haruka and then getting over that crush was like part of adulthood for me. So I'm not gonna watch the new Fully Cooley. I know this is the new Fully Cooley. I'm not gonna watch it. Shoyo's good. He's all right. That's all I'm gonna say. Hiro, he's a fucking fraud. This guy's just a simp. Homura's goated. One of the best characters of all time. Madoka Magica, Homura. The show cannot exist without her. Literally, she everything happens because of Homura. Yakimaru, he's a good character. Ichigo's goated. And this is a hard rating, by the way, because this is with do I want to lower him? So I really hate characters that have like special bloodline shit. Like they're just born great, right? Except for Boji. Boji's okay. He's royalty. He can be born great. But like, I don't like ass-pullery power-ups, and Ichigo is the king of ass-pullery, even more than Naruto. He's the biggest king of ass-pullery power-ups. He's a Quincy. He's a Shinigami. Oh, now he's this, he's that, he's a hollow, he's all these things. He's just a mishmash of all this shit put together, slammed together. It's so great. It's crazy. It's awesome. It's just stupid. That aside, his personality, the way Ichigo is, especially early on in Bleach, man, Ichigo was such a badass, bro. Very, very like Yusuke Urameshi kind of vibes. Kind of grew out of that. It became a lot more stoic and composed. But he's like one of the biggest aura farmers of all time. I mean, some of the most iconic moments in anime come from Ichigo. I still think he's a great character, regardless of like his like bullshit power-ups and shit like that. I still think he works for these things sometimes and has to train hard. And but like it's more of like his like no quit, no bullshit attitude. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think he's goated. I think I can justify it. Ikoma, I think Ikoma is a very good character. Would have been good. Good character. Kabanari, super underrated show. But Mume is really the hard carry, right? Mume is really the goated character of Kabanari. Ikoma is more of a support character, even though he is the MC. Inuyasha, I don't really like him. He's kind of annoying. He's an idiot. He never really grows. He never really learns anything. Inuyasha, for me, always felt really episodic, with like a pinch of like actual storyline sprinkled in. Like I think if you removed all the fluff and bullshit from Inuyasha, the actual show with actual plot lines would only be like 5 episodes, instead of like 100. And I never just found Inuyasha a very interesting or compelling character. He's kind of a giant simp. He can never really make up his mind. And then he's just got like daddy and brother issues. Ippo's only gonna go into amazing. He's not gonna go in goated because he's not Takamura, and just because I think the whole like retirement arc was just like a terrible arc. That's my opinion. You can think otherwise. I just think it was really forced and really stupid. And then all of that just to end up like fighting again is just super retarded and just a big debate. And it's really for like really stupid reasons. I don't really like it. So, but I still think Ippo is he's definitely like a top tier amazing character. He just doesn't go into GOAT for me because I think Takamura like really overshadows him. Isagi and Blue Lock. I don't know. I don't really like Isagi. I don't really like Blue Lock. I think Isagi's like a character that it's like, bro, can you do something? And then he does something at the end, and other people did like 10 amazing things that game. Isagi did one, but Isagi did the last thing of the game, so he gets the most credit. Ishida. I think Ishida's an amazing character. Silent Voice is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, anime movie of all time. Ishida's like full growth as a character development, everything he does, top tier, amazing, super likable, enjoyable character. Itadori. So if this is Itadori by the end of the manga, goated. If it's Itadori early on, pretty bad. We're gonna give him amazing, just because early Itadori is really rough and kind of bad. Itadori really kind of carries Jujutsu Kaisen towards the end, and in the new manga, Itadori's kind of the GOAT. But yeah, you guys will like Itadori a lot more after the next arc. Let's just put it that way. Izumu. I think Shinichi's a pretty good character. Like, there's a lot going on. He has to deal with a lot of bullshit, has a lot of growth. Yeah, I think that's fair. Jin, I don't know. God of High School kind of sucked dick. Jin, I mean, I think Jin was kind of interesting, and then obviously he's like Sun Wukong. Yeah, I like, my gut feeling just says good. I really don't know what to rate him because he's not really much of a character, right? But yeah, good. Good's fine. He's a good character. I like his design, and I like the potential. I like bottom of good. Jin from Samurai Champloo. Yeah, I don't really like him. And not doing JoJo's, except for my boy, the GOAT, the king of the GOATs, Joseph, the patriarch of his family. He's so relevant that they can't even get rid of him. Blah, 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 blah. JP from Redline, fraud. He's not really the main character or a protagonist. He's not even really a character. His car is the character, okay? Kaguya, she's good. I don't like Kaguya that much. She's good. She's okay. Kaneki's goated. Anybody who disagrees is insane. Like, Tokyo Ghoul, you gotta take your brain away from Tokyo Ghoul, the anime, and go read the manga. Kaneki Ken is one of the most compelling, interesting characters of all time. He goes through just as much bullshit as Guts does, and somehow comes out of it like a functional person by the end. Just crazy character growth and character journey. Yeah, top tier character for sure. Anime sucks. Kenshin's also goated. It's hard to deny that. Kenshin's goated. I mean, between Samurai X, Reflections, the mainstay storyline, everything he accomplishes and does. I mean, and then even after all of that and the anime is over, this guy still goes to war in China for his country. Like, just fucking, I don't know, just fucking goat. Kenshiro. Is Kenshiro a character or a force of nature? I'm gonna say fraud, because he is kind of like Alucard in the sense, like, I don't, and kind of like Afro, right? Afro's the same thing, and they're not really characters; they're more like forces of nature. It's just like there's no character there to latch onto. He's just like he's just like pure masculinity with no character. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. I really don't know how to rate Kenshiro or like any of these guys. Killua's a top tier character for sure. He's the like main reason to even watch Hunter x Hunter. Outside of like the world building. So yeah, don't know what to say. Kirito, I don't like. I'm not gonna say he's a fraud because he's not really a fraud. He is the main character. It's hard to deny that, but I don't like him. In fact, Alicization is my favorite Sword Art arc, and it's only because he's in a wheelchair and he's in a vegetable state for like 90% of it. So, Kirisugo Emiya, in my opinion, goated character, just like top tier character writing, just insane, just like craziness and like just crazy character. Just like he's the start and enabler of so many events in the Fate franchise. Kiroko, I don't know. I haven't finished Heavenly Delusion. I kind of dropped it after a bit, but like Kuroko seems like a good character. There's just a lot going on. If you don't know, this character is actually a boy, but not really. It's the girl. It's this character's brother trapped inside of her body, and she's dead. It's very weird. Spoiler, but that happens in like episode 3 or 2, so it's not really that much of a spoiler. And it's like the least relevant thing in the show. Just weird character. Maybe I actually don't like Kuroko. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's weird how he's like in love with himself and his own body because it's his sister's body, and he had like a weird incestuous relationship with his sister. Yeah, we're gonna put him in don't like. I had to rethink that for a second. I had to like the memories flooded back to me about Heavenly Delusion and why I dropped it in the first place. Kiyoshi's a fraud. He's not the real main character of Prison School. Let's be honest. It's Gakudo. Kogami. I mean, he's a good character. He's like a Wish Spike Spiegel. I'm not gonna say he's bad. I don't really like him, but I'm not gonna say he's a bad character. I think he's just meh. He's good. He's average. Like I said, he's Tenmu fucking Spike Spiegel. Kota from Elfen Lied, like I don't like him, bro. He's such a fucking simp. He's an enabler. He's a simp. Fucking yeah, I don't like him. Kyoko Hori. She's I kind of don't like her, but we're gonna give her good. I don't really know where to rate her. Laos, Dungeon Meshi. I do think he's a pretty amazing character. There's a lot kind of going on, and I really like Laos. Like the more the show goes on, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think I'm willing to put him up here, and I'll fight over it. Lugosi, I don't like. We'll put him in don't like. I don't like Beastars. I don't like Lugosi. I think it's just not a good character. Very. If you think you're like Lugosi in real life, I think you need to be put in prison and probably shot. Lelouch, goated character. I don't know who the fuck's gonna argue that. One of the best written characters of all time. One of the best endings to an anime of all time. I don't think anybody would dispute that. I think the new stuff really. I wish they would stop doing Code Geass content. I think they're just destroying the legacy of Code Geass by continuing to like try to. I don't even know like who's even watching new Code Geass. Who's actually watching it? I don't know anybody talking about it. I don't know anybody watching it. I don't even know why they're doing it. It's so weird. Leo, I actually think Leo's pretty good. I kind of like Leo. I'll put him up here. I think Leo's good. Underrated. Lloyd, I don't know. Like, I'm not a Spy Family guy. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't even watched the new season. I just don't care. I no interest. It's too boring and episodic. It's too predictable. Like we know what's gonna happen. It's all episodic for the most part. It's not my cup of tea. Lucy, oh Jesus Christ. I mean, she's kind of a terrible person. Like yeah, put her right there. Madoka, I think Madoka is a pretty. No, I think Madoka is a good character. Light Yagami, he's only gonna go in amazing because L is actually the real main character of Death Note, and Light is more of the antagonist. And to be honest with you, the longer the show goes on, the more you realize that Light is not like as smart as he thinks he is, and he's not as smart as you think he is because he's made you think he's very smart. It just turns out he's a very emotional and manipulative kind of dickhead, who really is not in control like he thinks he is. And you kind of see that as he breaks down at the end of the show, and he kind of like begs for his own life, which is kind of embarrassing and pathetic. Maka, she's a fraud. I mean, every character in Soul Eater is more interesting than her. She just gets bullshit power-ups half the time. Her father's more interesting than her as a character. Death is more interesting than her as a character. Soul is more interesting. Her own weapon is more interesting than her as a character. You're playing against like stacked field of Black Star. You're playing against Death the Kid. You're playing against Stein. You're playing against Medusa. Like, you just have no chance if you're Maka. Great Pretender. I don't really like him. I didn't really like Great Pretender, to be honest with you guys. Marcial. I think Marcial's an amazing character. I really like Marcial a lot. Let's keep going. Mao Mao, amazing character, top tier for sure. Kind of a dunce, but she's getting there. Marin is a very top tier female character. Maru, I think Maru's pretty good. I like him. I wouldn't say he's like top of good. He's one of the reasons why I'm thinking about going back to Heavenly Delusion, unless he does something terrible, and then I don't want to watch it anymore. Which seems to be what we're leading to. Meliodas. I have to like wash my brain from like 7 Deadly Frames and some of the later seasons. And then I kind of like him in Knights of the Apocalypse because he's like, he actually isn't a terrible father. I really want to put him low though, because the later seasons, Meliodas is really annoying. But he's really goated in like the first 2 seasons. And in Knights of the Apocalypse, I'm gonna say good. He's good. He's okay. Mikado, I don't know. Is Mikado even really a protagonist, or that like, I don't know, I don't really like him. I don't really like Miramura. I don't really care about your name, Fraud. Mob's a good character. I don't think he's amazing. I don't think he's the GOAT. Maybe we bump him up. You know, I can respect it. He does go to like fitness. He does try to improve himself. I think he's more, I don't know. The last the end of season 3 of Mob Psycho really kind of like made me not like the show. Like the ending was so bad, I don't like it. I don't know, guys. Yeah, top of good, that's fine. Momo's an amazing character. Monkey D, goated. Mugen, very good character. Musashi, my boy, goated. One of the best characters ever written. Vagabond's top tier. I actually hope it never gets an anime, because I don't want fucking normies and bandwagoners and hoodweebs tainting a masterpiece. Sunny Boy, I don't remember enough. We're not going to rate Sunny Boy. I remember watching some of Sunny Boy, but what happened? Can I rate Nagara? No, I don't. I don't remember enough. I remember some of it. No, Nagatoro, I don't like. Nagisa, he's a good character. He's okay. Komotsu Nana, and Osaki Nana. I think they're both amazing characters. It's the duality of the two. It's 2 different paths for 2 different sisters, right? One. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, you should watch Nana. Or read it, one or the other. Let's see. Naofumi, I don't really like him. Slave owner, incestuous, pedophile, don't really like him. Naota. Naota's pretty good. Naota's a good character. Naoto from Nagatoro. I don't really like Nagatoro. I don't like either of the characters. Naruto's just good. I think the pain arc hard carries Naruto in people's minds, but if you just take the pain arc away from Naruto, pretty annoying bad character. a lot of daddy issues. Is secretly gay in the closet, and then becomes one of the worst fathers of all time next to Goku, despite also growing up without a father. He does have hands though. Some of the best hands in the game. Natsu. I think everything with E and D is terrible. But is that Natsu's fault? Or is that just terrible writing? Natsu is a character. A lot of good character moments. Just kind of very straightforward. You know, I kind of like Natsu. He's kind of like Naruto for me. Like, I don't hate Naruto, and I don't hate Natsu. I just don't think they're really good characters. I think they were just like poorly written. Their universe is poorly written. They're poorly written into that universe. Fairy Tail's so bad though, but like Natsu does have a lot of good moments. Well, I'll leave it there. It's fine. Feels good to me. Shine, I'm not the biggest 86 fan, not gonna lie. I don't really care that much for it. But Shine as a character, he feels kind of on par with these characters. I'm not gonna lie though, I have not finished the last season of 86. I got like halfway through, so maybe that'll change my opinion. Odoka. This is a very, 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 very good character. Not anything amazing, groundbreaking, but interesting, very compelling character. It's not that he's a good character though. It's that like Odd Taxi is a very good story and told in a very unique artistic way. Odo's kind of not interesting at all. I'm gonna leave him in good because this is kind of like the average category. This is where characters I actually don't like. It's not like that I don't like Odo. I just don't think he's like anything that interesting or compelling. I think the story of Odd Taxi itself is more interesting than he is as a character. Okabe Lintano goated. Okarun, he's just kind of good. Oh, Clanad. Good. All right. Angel Beats. Otanashi, he's okay. He's a good character. He's not really why we watch Angel Beats though, is it? Ray, I think Ray's an amazing character. Reg. I think Reg's good. Yeah, Reg's okay. Meyer, amazing character. We have we have Revi, goated. Rishin, 100% goated, my boy. We're gonna get these two right next to each other. Very similar characters. Shin is just kind of like a hodgepodge combination of like Ichigo, Luffy, and kind of a little bit of Eren Yeager. Like he's kind of like a mix of these three characters, to be honest with you. Very good character. Ironically, I find him most similar to Ichigo in a lot of ways, and unironically they share the same exact voice actor, so which I'm pretty sure was intentional. So Rico, she's kind of a fucking dumbass, I ain't gonna lie. Like so Made in Abyss, the story itself is what is interesting. Rico is not that interesting as a character, I ain't gonna lie. Like once you get past the initial mystery, I just don't care. I actually don't like Rico. Yeah, I'll say it, I don't like her. Rock's goated for sure. Fantastic character writing, character development. Him and Revi are like the best tag team duo in anime. Rimuru. Dude, honestly, as reincarnated as a slime goes on, Rimuru becomes less of a character and more of like a force of nature. So he's good. Like, I don't dislike Rimuru. I just don't think he's that good of a character because he's kind of not a character anymore. Rudius. Rudius is such a complicated character to judge. Yes, I did put Boruto ahead of Naruto. Fight me about it. I actually find Naruto a more annoying character than Boruto. Especially Blue Vortex Boruto. I think like Blue Vortex Boruto is what we all wanted Naruto to become during Shippuden. And instead all we did is get like a cornier, goofier Naruto as he got older. And was like somehow he became even a worse fighter. Made no sense. At least for the early parts of Shippuden until he started getting bullshit power-ups. Rudius. Now, this is pure character writing because the writing in Mushoku is so strong, and then we spend so much time with Rudius, and you get so much internal monologuing, and you get to see his whole thought process and everything he goes through. I still think like it's an amazing character because it's so complex and in depth. But I don't like him as a person. Like personally, I don't like Rudius. I think he's a piece of garbage. Because he is a piece of garbage. Yeah, he's a piece of garbage. From my own moral and ethical principles, he's a piece of garbage. But like, he is a very compelling, interesting character. Okay. Ryuka. I don't really like. I mean, nah, Ryuji's okay. I like Ryuji. I like his dynamic with his family. I don't like his girlfriend though. Fuck her, bro. Fucking Taiga. I don't like Taiga at all. Fucking absolute brat. Ryuko, like not even a cute tsundere. She's just actually like a fucking annoying brat. Ryuji, the dragon, deserves better. Let's just put it that way. Ryuko Matoi. I have to rewatch Kill la Kill because, man, I started rewatching like some clips from Kill la Kill like the other day, and I was like, you know, maybe this show was way better than I thought it was. Man, it's hard not to put her up there. I think I have to rewatch Kill la Kill, but I'm gonna put her in amazing. That's where my gut tells me. Saber, amazing character, top tier. Fate series, I'm basing this off the actual visual novels. They go into way more detail and depth on the characters. You're not going to get the same thing out of the anime. The anime really chose to do like a more like, we're just going to show action than it did like character development. So you lose out on a lot of internal dialogue and background information. Now, Studio Dean, when they did the original Stay Night adaptation, tried to make it more one-to-one with the visual novels. So you got a lot more character development and character interaction. And like, I don't know, Saber's just a really good character, dude. She's like one of the main driving forces of the original like storyline. And she's good. She's very good, very compelling character, especially when you explore her arcs, like when you explore her arcs more through like Grand Order or something. But yeah. Oh, Saitama. He's kind of a fraud, right? He's not really like a real character. He's actually like legitimately just like an actual force of nature. Sotaru, Erase kind of sucked because I figured it out after like anybody with like remotely moderate IQ could figure out the whole thing of Erased in like 2 episodes. And then the show itself just kind of loses interest, but I actually think Sotaru is actually like a pretty well-written character. Seiya, this is controversial, amazing character. And the reason why is because Cautious Hero is actually like a really amazing show. because it literally sells you on a gimmick show for like 11 episodes, and then on the 12th episode it literally reveals that like, holy fuck, this gimmick was all for a reason. And then Seiya was literally just playing a role the entire time for a reason. And it turns into like a really complicated, complex like love story, and like story of redemption, and it's pretty good. Like, Cautious Hero is like one of my secret little favorites. I think it's way better than people give it credit for. And Seiya's actually an amazing character, because he could play this role the entire time without ever breaking character until the end. Senku, yeah, Senku's an amazing character. He makes shit that I don't care about seem interesting. Shinra's a good character. I don't really like Fire Force that much. I like a lot of characters in Fire Force, but Shinra is not the top of that list. Shirogane, good character. I'm not like a huge Kaguya fan. I've watched the whole thing. It's good. I just don't think it's that good. Shiro, God, get me out of here. Shinpei's an amazing character. Top tier. Summertime Rendering, top tier show. You should go watch it. Shiro, also probably goated, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, some people aren't gonna like that, but like, let's just go over it, right? Out of all, the whole franchise revolves around Shiro. It just does. It's all about the different paths he takes. Every branch is basically him picking a different girl, whether he picks Saber and chases after her to free her from the Tower of Heroes, or he's chasing after fucking Rin, or he's in Unlimited Blade Works and he's choosing that route, or he's going after Sakura in Heaven's Feel. He's just like, he's a good character. Now, the anime doesn't explore his character as much as it should, because like I said, the anime really tried to focus on the spectacle thriller kind of aspect of the Fate franchise, where the Fate franchise is very much a dialogue heavy kind of thing. It's a visual novel, very similar to like the Monogatari series. It's very dialogue heavy. There's a lot of like inner monologuing, like character dialogue, and then they kind of cut all that out for the anime, because they kind of tried to do it with Dean and nobody really liked it, and then they're like, fuck it, let's ball, and they just went pure action mode with like the story as like a subcontext in between the action, and people liked it more, so it is what it is. So but if you actually read the visual novels and you learn about Shiro, very compelling character, very well written. He's the GOAT. He does incredible things as a human that nobody else can ever do. He literally fights Hercules and wins, kills Hercules himself 9 times. Like, come on, guys, what are we doing here? And even as Archer, he's still a GOAT. Archer's one of the biggest GOATs in Fate, and he's Archer, so same character. In fact, I've never seen a character literally become a hero to then try to kill himself to stop himself from becoming a hero, because he's literally miserable. It's just the whole thing is super interesting. Shu, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he's bad, right? Actually, I don't like Shu. I remember some things about Shu and I don't like him. We're gonna put him here. Simon, GOAT. One of the greatest characters of all time. One of the greatest anime of all time. I just like, bro, I rewatched Gurren Lagann like a week ago, and I was like, holy fuck, this is still so good. And Simon is still so hype. I still controversially think Gurren Lagann's ending was terrible. They shouldn't have killed my boy's girl. And but I also understand like the more deeper lore implications of why that had to happen and why he had to kind of walk away from everything. But it is what it is. But he's still a go-to character. Sora, I don't like No Game No Life. He's gonna go into frauds. Soul's a pretty good character. Spike Spiegel, let's rip the band-aid off. I think Cowboy Bebop has become super overrated. It's very, very good, but I think it's also become a little too mainstream and overly hyped and overrated. But Spike is a very interesting, compelling character. He's the archetype for many clones of him. We're going to put these three smokers all together. I think it's fitting. So, yeah. Down to earth, realistic character. A lot of tragic backstory. Just straight up badass. Good guy, too. Like, Spike's actually, like, a good person for the most part. Subaru. I really dislike Subaru in the beginning. He grows on me, but I still dislike him because I just think he's a dork. And we're going to put him in good. Sugimoto's kind of goated, guys. Like, can anybody deny Sugimoto's not kind of a goat? I don't know. I can't. Sung Jinwoo. This is hard because as the story progresses, he kind of like stops being a character and kind of approaches like the Saitama, like Alucard kind of level where like he's less of a character and more of just like a force of nature. He's more of like a plot device than he is actually like a character. True, he is a family man. Fuck. We're gonna put him in top of good. Swindler. Akudama Drive was like, wasn't terrible, but wasn't good either. Like, what do I think about Swindler? I thought she was good. She wasn't bad. Akudama Drive. I have to rewatch that, I think. Takamichi. I don't like Takamichi. Tachibana, don't care. Your Name is whatever. It's the most overrated movie of all time. Tanjiro. I do not like Tanjiro. Demons should die. They should be put in the ground. Stop sympathizing with them. You pay the price at the end of Demon Slayer, and you deserve it. You're also like the least interesting character in the show. Everybody likes Zenitsu more than you, and that's saying something because Zenitsu is a terrible character, and he's absolutely atrociously annoying. And more people will simp and stand for Zenitsu than they will for Tanjiro. I think that's fair. Tanya, amazing, almost goated. Let's see here. Tenma. I think Tenma's amazing. I don't think he's goated though. I think he's a very good, amazing character. Tatsumi. Manga Tatsumi or anime Tatsumi? I think Tatsumi's an amazing character. Thorfinn. Goated. Yeah, Vinland Saga, one of the best manga ever made. Vaster Stampede. His Studio Orange version is kind of a fucking loser. I mean, he's kind of a crybaby in the manga too. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't like Vash. I don't like Vash. That's not to say I don't like Trigun, by the way. I really like Trigun, the manga. I don't care about the original Trigun run that much, and I really don't like the Studio Orange version. Okay, Vincent Law, amazing character. The internal struggle of, coming to terms with humanity, your humanity, while also realizing that you're a god and having to deal with that and come to terms with it. And yeah, very compelling, interesting character. Goes through a lot of like interesting tunnels alongside of the other lead, the girl here. They're both top tier characters. Carry the show hardcore. Violet. I don't really like her. She's really boring. Vivi. Also don't really like her. She's really boring. Valadina or Vladilena. I think she's a good character. Yato. I think Yato's an amazing character. He has so much death and shit going on in his character. She's okay. I don't really like Spy Family. You. I don't know, dude. Like, he's like, I don't really like him. I'm gonna be honest. Did I finish Shaman King? I almost finished. I just couldn't watch anymore. I really just like, I just don't really get Shaman King. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, I don't. Maybe maybe it's just beyond me. But I watched the original, and I watched the new one, and I just don't get it. Like, I still don't get the appeal. And you was just kind of like, he's like not a character. Oh, Yami, dude, we're talking about the Pharaoh. Yo, the Pharaoh's the goat. Easy. Yusuke, 100% goated. One of the best anime protagonists, shonen protagonists of all time. Yusuke is the goat. All about gender equality. Top tier character. Very Ichigo-like. Like these guys, these three right here, are very similar characters. Kind of could be interchangeable. Shin's got like a little bit more Eren Yeager in him than probably the rest of them do, but yeah. In 02, I don't like 02. All right, we're not rating these characters. And that's it. This is the list. Hopefully you guys like this list. If you disagree, feel free in the comments to hate. I'm fine with that. But I can probably justify all of these. I think. I just know the Naruto one is gonna trigger people so bad. Like, it's gonna I think that one's gonna trigger these fucking weirdos the most. Or just the fact I wouldn't rate JoJo characters, because I think JoJo's is garbage, except for season 2. Yeah. Is there anybody I would drop? Let me just go through, see if there's anybody I would drop. I mean, I do kind of want to drop Ichigo, because I really do hate his, like, I really do hate the bullshit Quincy Shinigami hollow power bullshit. I think it's terrible. I mean, not really. There's nobody here I want to drop. There's nobody here I feel forced that I put in here, except maybe Ichigo. Like, I would just drop him to amazing. But I think his character is enough. Momo's like really high up there and amazing. Tanya's really good. These two are very good. Tenma's good. Naoto's just good. Fully Cooley in general is just good. Tatsumi is like really good in the manga and in the anime. Maybe we could lower him. Nah, I think this is fair. I really like his character, actually. Marcial's great. Saber's good. Alibaba's really good. Yato's really good. Momo's good. This is fine. There's nobody here I'm like, yeah, I need to drop this person. And I don't want to move any of them up. Okay, now this is just good, which is kind of like, hey, they're okay. They're good characters. They're not like, they're average. They're watchable. They're decent. They're digestible characters. I think this is fine. Part of me wants to move Sung Jinwoo up, but like, he's not really that interesting of a character, that compelling. He becomes less of a character as the show goes on, to be honest with you. Yeah, this is fair. This is fair. I think this is fair. This is fair. Yeah, this looks fair. All right. Don't like. Yeah. Yeah, this is fair. I don't like any of these characters. These are frauds because I just don't like the frauds, because like his car is the main character. He's not the main character. I just don't like him. We'll put him there. I think that's fair. I don't like Takemichi. And I don't think Enma's really the main character. I mean, it's told through Enma's perspective, but I really think the other two are really the hard carry of the whole family. So, Goku's a fraud. Vegeta's better. Piccolo's better. Gohan's better. Fraud character. Dragon Ball Goku, goated. One of the best characters of all time. I love old school Dragon Ball. I used to watch it all the time, every morning. I hate Dragon Ball Z. I hate Goku. Mac is a fraud. Afro, I just have no comment. Not really a character. Kenshiro really isn't too much of a character either. Alucard's not really a character. Saitama's not really a character. Akame is a fraud because I don't even know. She's like, the show is named after her, and she's like not even really the main character. Akane is a fraud. He's a fraud. He's a fraud because he can't fucking solve the mystery after 3,000 years of fucking show. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. I agree with this. So this is the list. We'll scroll down a little more time. And that's my ratings. Feel free to seethe in the comments if you don't like. Otherwise, we'll see you for the next video.